You are not going to find a bigger PS3 Essentials pickup on YouTube than this. I've got the best part of a full set here. Absolutely insane pickup. Some real rare gems in here, like a sealed copy of Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City. Yeah, really happy with this. We're going to unpick all of this when we get back and get into what we need and what is surplus to requirements. So stand by for this. Hello YouTube, N60 Fortress here, I'm back. Thanks for tuning in again as always, it's very much appreciated. As the title suggests, we are going on a big, massive PS3 Essentials pickup. I'm picking up somebody's full collection of games. It's not a full set, it's about 188 titles. I think there's about 217 in the full PAL library. And yeah, he's just selling us a lot. There were so many that I was interested in, but he wanted to try and sell us a bundle first. I was never going to pass this opportunity up to tick off so many in one go. A lot of decent ones, a lot of ones that are hard to find. All the heavy hitters are, in the main, missing. So my journey will still be a tough one. I've still got the challenge of finding the more difficult ones, but it's a good way to take out so many in one go, in one transaction. It's a 2-hour drive, so, you know, wish me luck. It's a long way to be going on a pickup, but I'm sure it's going to be worth it. We'll head into the CEX there as well, Grantham. I'm based near Worcester. Grantham's just like northeast of Leicester. Bit of a mission, but we'll check out the CEX there and we'll go and grab the games, and then we'll unpack it all in the game room and go through it. And there's going to be a lot of duplicates because I've got about 80 odd games myself, but yeah, it's just going to be a trip worth doing. I've just grabbed my Costa, got my fuel for the trip, and yeah, let's get going then, shall we? So after my coffee fix and a smooth 2-hour drive, I touched down in Grantham. I was a little bit ahead of schedule, so I decided to check out the CEX while I was there. So let's have a look at it, shall we? And before we get into the pickup that I'm sure you all clicked the thumbnail for, let's have a look at what I grabbed from CEX then. So first of all, Until Dawn in the PlayStation 4 hits. If you saw last week's vlog, you'll see I had some drama for one I ordered off eBay for cheap. It was about £6 posted, all in all. Came totally battered, sent in an envelope, wrapped in an A4 plastic wallet. It got trashed. I applied for a refund, got instantly refunded. And yeah, so I've still got a bit of a voucher with CEX, so I bought this for £10. It's complete, it's great. I don't have to worry about that. I actually forgot to buy a donor case, like a cheap FIFA game, so I could case up the one that got trashed and sell that on and make a bit of money out of it, but I'll have to do that on another time. My mind was on other things and that wasn't at the forefront of my mind. But yeah, pleased to tick another PS4 hits game off, and on next week's vlog we'll hopefully have my package from abroad and we'll reassess where we are on the PS4 hits journey. So yeah, delighted to tick another one off. And I was super happy to find Manhunt on the PS2 in fantastic, complete condition. And yeah, I've been looking to add this to my collection for a while, bought with a voucher, so no expense paid on the day. And I've heard such good things about this game from Sam, my friend at work, and people in the comments since I've been talking about this game in terms of trying to pick it up. Like I said, I'm a fan of Rockstar's work and I'm looking forward to playing this game. I'm probably going to fast track it and try and complete it sooner than not. It's certainly one that I want to say that I've completed by the end of the year, and just looking forward to getting my teeth into it really. So yeah, look out for that on the channel. We'll definitely be playing that one sometime soon. So yeah, overall a good experience at the Grantham CEX store. Picked up a few games that I've been looking for in good condition. It was only a small store, but it was well presented. Everything was in its right place. They had a lot of good stuff there to look at, as you'll have seen from the footage. So delighted with my trip there and happy to be walking away with some things that I've picked up with my voucher. And just before we get into the pickup that you're all waiting to see, I just want to talk through a few things about how it came about, how much it cost, why I went for it, and things like that, because there's some things that I just want to get off my chest regarding that, because I know there will be invariably some people commenting going, why have you done that, and all this, that and the other, potentially. So I just want to iron those things out before we start getting into it. Right then guys, before we go through the games, I just want to talk through some reasons why I went through this bundle and how it came about really. So it all came about a few months back. I did a video about PS3 Essentials being a collecting nightmare, how it's hard to find Essentials games with the right disc. Did they even release with an Essentials disc in the UK or not? I think one of the examples I used was Little Big Planet Karting, because I found a light new copy from CEX and it had a standard disc. I look on eBay solds, Vinted, and literally every copy I see has a standard disc in it. Too many for them to be just muddled up by CEX. And a viewer of the channel reached out to me and they showed me this. It's clearly been through the CEX system. No manual, but it does have a red PS3 Essentials disc. It is the UK version, so it's English. So I don't know. It's hard to know. Is this like imported from another European territory and it's in English? Or were there multiple batches of this game released? First, they tried to fob off the excess standard discs that they had, and then do a further print run, a more rare version with the correct Essentials disc. I don't know. This is not as nice as my copy, but I am going to keep the disc, so I'll swap this into my copy and just keep that, I think. But yeah, that's how the dialogue started, and the person who showed me this had a considerable collection. This is their old collection, and they said they were thinking of selling up. I think they got to the business end of the collection. They had about 188 of the titles, and they just couldn't justify some of the expenses on some of the harder, more difficult to find titles. I think they lost interest a little bit. They weren't as interested in PS3 as PS4. They had a really nice PS4 collection. Really great collection, and they were very proud of it, and they wanted to keep that and build on it and so on. Really nice. And yeah, they mentioned to me at that point that they were thinking of selling up. And you know, I'm quite a laid back guy. I know what it's like when you're selling your personal collection. I wasn't straight in there going, you know, what do you want, let me buy it off you and all this. I just said, look, have a good think about it first and then we can talk. And so, you know, some time went by, and then he sort of reached out again and said he was definitely thinking about selling up, but then there was a problem of, you know, you've got to value it and so on, and that takes time. And I said, look, you know, there's a lot of titles there that I'd like to add to my collection, be interested in a considerable amount of them. And he was in two minds whether to do that and to help me, or whether to just sell us one lot, because it's just easier to get it gone in one go. And, you know, I did offer to collect all the ones I wanted and stuff, so it'd be it'd be a good chunk of them going in one go. And I do still need a lot of fodder, so it's not like I'm taking all the good stuff and leaving you with all the fodder. But I think ultimately they wanted it gone in one go, and I didn't want to let this opportunity pass me by for the sake of, you know, buying some extra fodder in it. And so more time passed, and he totaled it all up, and he sent the sheet to me. And when I received the sheet, I was quite happy with the prices. You know, I thought they were very fair. There was 188 or so in total, and it came to about 2,216, I believe. And he said you can have it for 2,000, so that's already £216 knocked off. Obviously, I've got to travel there. He's based in Grantham. I'm based in Worcestershire, so it was about half a tank of petrol, just under, in my wife's Ford Fiesta, so about 30 quid's worth of petrol for me to get there. I took the most fuel efficient car. So really, it cost me about £2,030. Now, I know that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for me to spend in one go. It's not the way I typically like to collect. I like going and hunting things myself. But I think this is like a journey that you don't go on very often. And there's a lot of reasons why I went for this. So obviously the price is great. You know, when you put it down to £2,000 or 2,030, let's just say 2,000 for argument's sake, that's like, it works out as about £10.60 a title, which, considering some of the games in there, that's pretty good. Obviously there's a lot of fodder in there as well that's not worth anywhere near that, but we'll get to that like shortly. Basically, there's some economies of scale there. You're buying in bulk and you're making a saving there. The next reason is that you've got to think that if you're buying these games individually, you're probably going to be paying postage on top for a lot of them, because I'm at the stage now where I'm just not finding stuff that I need in CEX, and when and if I do, it hasn't got the right disc, or it's not in the right condition that I want. So, you know, you're looking online more for some of these games, and the price will add up if you keep paying postage. So that was something that I was able to eliminate. I was able to take out so many games that I needed in one hit. I was able to take out so many games that you just don't see very often. There's games in this bundle that I'll highlight shortly that, you know, on the surface they're not that rare, but you just can't find them in the Essentials range, on eBay, on Vinted, in CEX. They're just hard to find, and when you do come across them, you're just lucky. So, you know, it was a good opportunity to take so many out in one go. And last of all, it's just a massive time-saving exercise, isn't it? So, you know, I've took, you know, what, 5 hours out of my day to go there and back and have a look round, but I've actually made some content, so it's not a, you know, a waste of my time. I've actually enjoyed making the content. I've enjoyed the experience of going, and I enjoy the fact that I'm saving so much time now, not having to search for all these games. All the time you spend searching and looking for games online, you're scrolling and so on, it's a lot of time that eats into your life, especially when you've got so many to look for. So, you know, I've saved myself a considerable amount of time. I've got a 3-year-old son. I've got another child on the way due in December. I'm not going to have as much time to sort of look for things. So it's good to get so many out the way in one go. And so, yeah, I was a bit apprehensive really, because I don't really know this guy all too well. I was speaking to him on Instagram, and, you know, I'm travelling 2 hours. So imagine if I travel 2 hours and then they just ghost me, you know. I have heard of things like that happening. Fortunately, it didn't happen to me, but these things do happen out there, and, you know, I'm lucky that that didn't happen really, and I'm lucky that Dan, his name's Dan, he's a really nice guy, a true gentleman, very sincere, very kind, and, you know, he was very helpful. He helped me load the car and so on, and I didn't film any of it, and it wasn't my intention to, so I went in with the mindset that I'm going around this guy's house in his room to pick up the stuff. You know, I'm not going to start invading his personal space and asking to film to make content. You know, it's hard enough sometimes when you're letting your collection go. I don't want to, you know, make a song and a dance out of it, so I was very respectful on that front. And it's interesting, as we were loading the games into the car, he mentioned that he thought that I might ask to film and that he was relieved that I didn't. So I'm really glad that I stuck to my gut instinct and respected his personal space, because I know that I probably wouldn't want it happening if I was on the receiving end of it. I just want the games to go, I want the money, and to sort of make sure the buyer's happy, and that's the sort of end of the transaction really. So I'm really glad that that's the view that I had, and I respected his personal space. But yeah, I just want to take this opportunity to say shout out to Dan, really lovely guy, really great PS4 collection, really lovely bloke. I'm really happy that you reached out to me. Of course, you've done me a solid one, and yeah, good luck with the PS4 collections. So yeah, massive shout out to Dan, really appreciate it, my friend, and I hope that the £2 goes a long way in helping with the things that you said you were going to use it for. Really wish you all of the best, mate, and thanks for everything. So yeah, without further ado then, let's start having a look at what we've got here and going through some of these games then, shall we? Right, there is an incredible amount to sort through here, and it might not all be completed on this episode, but I'm going to just sort of whiz through, and my view is that I'm going to set 4 piles, okay? So the first pile is going to be need. The second pile is going to be got, or already have. The third pile is going to be possible upgrades. So, you know, I'm going to take the disc out of this, for example. So a third pile for ones that I need to cross-examine with what I've already got. And then a fourth pile that are needs, but I know that they are games that got an English release. So there are several games in here, you know, probably nearer 20, I imagine, that are foreign language games on the back, but I know for a fact did get English versions that are even harder to find. Now, I'm quite a fussy collector. I want the English versions in my collection if they came out. And there are games that I'm not sure if they did get an English version or not, so they'll go on that pile as well, until I find out more or definitively rule out that they didn't get an English version released for. So yeah, one such example, so this will go on the sort of upgrade pile then. One such example is Grid Reloaded. So I'm not sure that this even got an English version released for it. This one is German by the look of it. So yeah, I'm not even sure that that got an English release, but I'll go through and vet, make sure it's complete with an Essentials disc. And if it's complete, got the Essentials disc, but I'm unsure whether it got an English release or not, that goes on the pile to sort of cross-examine later down the line. And then yeah, what have we got here? We've got Grand Theft Auto episodes from Liberty City, and this is one that really lit my eyes up when I saw that he had it, because I know that it's a difficult one to find. It's got a sticker on the back of the seal. It's brand new and sealed. It's got a sticker on the back, so I will get my label clean on and get that off. But I'm not going to do that on... I might do it later in the video, but I'm not going to do it right now. So yeah, that goes on the need pile. And yeah, let's start working through then. So we've got Move Fitness here. Yeah, that's English. It's got a standard disc. I don't think this came with an Essentials disc, so I will look into that. But at the moment, that can just go on the needs, because I'm pretty sure that it's a need. Mod Nation Racers, that looks not as nice condition, so that goes on the I've got pile. So yeah, let's have a look then. I think we've got 4 piles going now. So yeah, here are our 4 piles. Upgrade, need, but need to check if it got an English release or not. Need for sure, because they're English, and already got, and so that'll go on the pile to be moved on eventually. Just as always, if you're new to the channel or you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. I really want you coming along for this journey. Can we complete the full PlayStation 3 Essentials PAL library, the PAL PS4 Hits library as well, and can we complete and review all 239 UK PAL N64 games? Episode 15 just dropped on Thursday gone on that, Chameleon Twist 2. So yeah, let's have a look through more of the games then. So what we got, Midnight Club. I don't think I've ever seen this in English, so hopefully it's just a European exclusive. Didn't get an English release. It's got the manual, it's got the Essentials disc, so that goes with Grid Reloaded. Good one to tick off. Mortal Kombat, I'm pretty sure I've got this, English. I suppose I'll double check at this stage. I have got an electronic copy of the list that I've had off him, what I paid for it, and whether they're complete or missing the manual or the correct disc and so on. Motorstorm Apocalypse, you know, really difficult one to come by, this one. It is foreign, unfortunately. But yes, again, I'm not sure if it got an Essentials release or not. But yeah, this has got a platinum disc in it, unfortunately, so it's incorrect either way. So again, that goes on to this pile because I don't want to move it on yet. I'll keep it to one side until I get a correct one with the correct disc, but it certainly won't be going on the shelf in my collection until that point. It'll go to the side as one to upgrade. Motorstorm Pacific Rift. Yeah. Yep, that's English. Happy days. Correct disc manual. So that goes on the needs. That's great. We've got 3 already. Pirate Warriors. I know this is like quite a difficult one. Or Pirate Warriors 2, is it? Yeah, it's quite a difficult one. I'm not sure if it got an English release or not. Hopefully not. So it'll be another one ticked off. Correct disc manual. So yeah, that hopefully goes on the I need pile. But I just need to double check that it didn't get an English release. The first Pirates game. Again, I don't think you see that very often. I'm not sure if this got an English release or not. This one appears to be German as well. Again, I'm going to have to double check. I don't want to put it in the need pile straight away without confirming there wasn't an English version of it available. Sorcery. This is French, I believe. This one I'm pretty sure didn't get an English release. And further to that, I'm pretty confident it didn't get an Essentials disc. Every single one I've seen on foreign soil for sale is always a standard disc, so I'm supremely confident to put that on the need pile and not have to fret about the disc issue. Call of Juarez, Bound in Blood, one of the 2 Call of Juarez games, very tricky to find. I think this is the easier out of the 2. I don't have the other one in this bundle that is more difficult. I'm pretty confident this didn't get an English release and it's got the correct disc and manual. So again, like Sorcery, that goes on the need pile. Rayman Origins, I've got that. It doesn't appear to be in better condition than mine. Just double check. Manual and correct disc. Goes on the spares pile for sale. Burnout Paradise. Now, this is one that's foreign, and I think it did get an English release. So, unfortunately, again, got the correct disc and manual, but it's foreign, so that goes on the pile to check. And yeah, we move on. Devil May Cry HD collection, brand new and sealed. I think I already have this. I'm just looking over at the cabinet now. And yes, I do have this. And I have it sealed as well. So it's English. But that'll just go on the spares for sale. And this is going to be a common theme. Dead Space 3, brand new and sealed. I've also got that brand new and sealed. Seems that there's more copies sealed out there than ever opened. But another one that I've got. So another one that I'll need to be sold on and try and recoup some money. That might be a difficult sell given they're readily available on eBay. Dead Island Game of the Year edition. Not long picked this one up either. So yeah, goes on the to sell pile. I don't think it's better condition than what I've got. So yeah, another one that I've already got. And this is going to be a common theme. There's going to be a lot that I've already got. Dragon's Dogma. Now, I've just bought this sealed, so interesting whether I keep the open copy and try and sell the sealed one or not. It is complete with manual. So there's a decision there to make whether I keep this and try and get my 18 quid back for the sealed one, or whether I keep the sealed one and just try and sell this for a profit to bring my average cost down. Decisions. So I guess for now I'll put it on the for sale pile, but I might decide that I'll try and sell the sealed one at a later point. Now, we've got a hell of a lot of games to go through here, so I'm not going to keep filming the whole thing. So I'll probably go through a few more and then stop at some more notable ones to go through, really, I guess. Unless there's any in this bag here that we can sort of talk about. Dirt 3, I'm pretty sure that got an English release, so it's got the correct disc and manual, but I'm supremely confident this got an English version release, so that can't be a mainstay in the collection. So that goes there. But yeah, I'll just stop here and then I'll go through some more interesting stuff shortly. Right, so that's the first bag gone through. We've got some okay spares here. If you need any of them, feel free to reach out on Instagram. There's a few games in this bundle that are already spoken for people that have been helping me on this journey so far, but there'll be a lot of spares as well. And yeah, there's some good games here that I'm still not convinced if they got English or not, so they've just gone onto this pile to be safe, but they probably didn't, hopefully, and they're just ones that can go straight into the collection. We've got 10 there that are definite needs that are English, so that's a good start. We've got a nice Demon Souls here. I think this is a pretty uncommon one. It's English, but it is unfortunately missing the manual. Now, it's a bit problematic. The good news is that a standard manual can be put in these Essentials games. It's the same. The downside is there's none individually for sale on eBay, and to buy this game in CEX is £25. To chop it back in is 16. so I would lose £9 on the spread just for a manual, but I did get a really good price on this, so bearing in mind what it's worth, I think that it's probably worth doing that when I come round to it. So that goes on the pile as it can't go straight into the collection yet because it needs work. Like, I'm not going to put it on the shelf and remember that I need a manual. I'm just going to keep it to the side with this slot, and then once I get a manual for it, then it can take pride of place in the collection. We've got a Dead Rising 2 game here off the record, which I don't have. It's got an incorrect case. Look, that's a DVD case. So I'll just take one of these spares here. The luxury of having so many spares is that any that you need that haven't got the nicest of cases, just do a simple swap. So we'll do that in a sec. PES 14. This is the PES that you don't see very often at all. It is foreign. I will need to check if there's an English version of it or not, because I'm not entirely sure. Every single copy I've seen to date has been foreign, but 13 and 15 did get English releases, so it'd be a bit bizarre that this one didn't, but we'll have to investigate that further. Assassin's Creed Revelations. I've been looking for this for a while. Someone done me over on Facebook Marketplace. I bought it. I managed to get them to move it onto Vinted, bought it, and then they conveniently decided that they no longer had it and cancelled the sale. So I didn't lose money, but I had got my hopes up and then only for it to fall flat. It's quite a difficult one to come by in the Essentials range, and I'm not sure where Dan got his price from on this because it was very fair. And I think I paid more for Assassin's Creed Rogue, which you see pretty much everywhere, and I've got that spare. And then for the one that you hardly ever see, I paid a lot less. So it all works out in the end. You pay more for some and less for others, I guess. So yeah, he made up for it with Rogue, so I quite overpaid for that one, but underpaid for this. And yeah, happy to add that one in. Crisis 3, I'm pretty confident that that didn't get a UK release. 2 did, which is in this bundle, but foreign, so that'll go on the pile to replace. But Crisis 3, brand new and sealed as well. Yeah, really happy to add that one in. Assassin's Creed 3 that I need, that's fully complete as well. I've already checked it. And that completes the Assassin's Creed now with Revelations and 3. That's all the Assassin's Creeds on the PS3 Essentials range completed. And this is one you'll want to look at. Bayonetta, real tough one to locate in the PS3 Essentials range. And it's English, fortunately for me. So that is one that I can put into my collection, pride of place, and not have to stress at all about getting an English version of it. Really happy with that. Good find, that one, Dan. And you know, you did pick up some right gems in here. And I just want to put it out there that Dan started collecting these Essentials before they became a bit more mainstream, pre-retro ghetto era, if you like. I know he was heavy into it sort of last year. Dan started collecting before that, but obviously encountered obstacles along the way, lost a bit of interest, but his journey actually did begin before all of that hype, and that hype obviously did him no favours in terms of making things more scarce and pushing up the prices of some of the games. So yeah, let's get into the next bags then. Right, so that's the second bag gone through. You can see the spares pile is stacking up. We're gonna have a lot to move on. But yeah, all of those are definite needs, which is a good start. And this, we've got a stack here that are possible foreign that didn't get UK release. Like, I'm pretty sure Battlefield 3 didn't get a UK release. Unfortunately, this one is missing the manual, so therefore I'm gonna have to hunt that down with a manual anyway, so it can't go straight into the collection. Batman 3, I know this got an English release, so this is foreign, so you know, there's just several here that could have gone in. This is English, but it's got a standard disc, Massacre Threat Free, so that can't go straight in. That's gonna have to be hunted. It's okay, you know, like this was all known at the outset. FIFA 13, it might not have got an English release, but I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, not English on this one, but it is new and sealed. And then Kingdom Hearts 2.5 or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that did get an English release, so unfortunately some of these couldn't be ticked off. But we've got some more good stuff. So FIFA 14, I had this sealed before, but this one is full on English, and I didn't believe that an English version was available, but clearly it is, so I can get rid of my foreign copy, and I've got an English one that adds into that pile. So happy days. Killzone 3, really hard to find in English, but yeah, English, manual and correct disc, happy days, really happy with that. Similarly, Killzone 2, another need, English, correct disc, manual, happy days. This is a difficult one to find. This is a European exclusive, I believe. Ace Combat Assault Horizon. Don't think that got an English release at all. So yeah, that bit's English, but the rest is German. It's a difficult find, and certainly not going to be cheap when you do find it, really, with import costs, postage or whatever. So yes, pleased to add that one into the collection. It is alphabetically the first game in the collection as well, so nice to start as you mean to go on. Medieval Moves. This is English by the look of it. Yep, that's turned into a skeleton. Has this got a standard disc? Yeah, it has. So that's one that I just need to double check whether it got an Essentials disc or not. From what I've seen, I don't think it has, but my fussy state, I'll definitely need to investigate further. Lord of the Rings, got a tricky one to come by, not an easy find in the Essentials range, so really happy to have that one in English. That's going to a viewer of the channel who's already called Shotgun on that, so yeah, really happy to help Scott out with that one. You're welcome, mate, thank me later. That can go on his pile. Got a little pile going there, Scott. Yeah, this Dragon Ball, I don't really see this very often. They're brand new and sealed. It's not official PlayStation 3 seal, but for all intents and purposes looks pretty new to me. No reason to doubt it, really. English, happy days. These are good titles to add in. Hobbit, I've never ever seen this. Didn't even realise it was in the Essentials library until somebody sent me the list. Brand new and sealed, official PS3 seal, English. Yeah, I mean, this is what it's all about, finding gems like this. Like, how long would it take me to search and find this game, really? There's not a single copy across Europe that I can see, not a single copy on eBay, not a single copy on Vinted, and I've got this for a cracking price. It's brand new and sealed. How long is it going to take you to find this game? If anybody's collecting, have you got this one? How long did it take you to find, if you have? And how unlucky have you been to date if you've not found it? It's just a difficult game to find. I just want to say that, you know, people can say I'm quite lucky that I've fell into this lot because of my position on YouTube, and that's true to an extent, but, you know, I still had to fork out the money. I've still got all these spares to move on and the hassle of doing that, and, you know, it is a job in itself to get this done, really. So, you know, it's not like I've done this without any effort at all. I had to put my faith in Dan being a good guy and actually not doing me over and ghosting me when I got there. So, you know, I have put some effort in. This is one that I've already got, I believe. Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2, Dragon Ball. Just looking up at the shelf just to make sure I've got that there. Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2. Yeah, we've got that one, and it's got a third-party case anyway, so that can go on the spares. Yeah, okay, we've got that one. Now, this is an interesting one, and one that piqued my interest when I saw it. It seems really hard to find in the Essentials range. Like, for a game that sort of sold quite well, it's really difficult to find in the Essentials range. I've got the standard copy. Like, when you go into CEX, they've always got loads and loads of standard copies. They're always really cheap. But yeah, just difficult one to find in the Essentials range, bizarrely, and really happy to add one that I need off in this game. Correct disc, manual. Manual needs a bit of a clean there. Got a sticker residue on it, so I'll clean all that off in due course. Maybe a separate video on touching up games and stuff like that and fixing them up. But yeah, really pleased to add that one in. And another one you don't see very often, Mag. Again, probably have to buy this abroad, really. And yeah, it's English. and got the correct disc and manual, and another tricky one ticked off. So again, the pile for the definite needs is certainly building up, and that's what we want to see. On to bag 3 then. Right then guys, just the last lot to race through really. Saints Row the Third there. I'm not sure if this got an English release or not. There is one version that did that I already have, and then this, the 3rd edition, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know any of these games did or did not get an English release or not. Dante's Inferno, this is foreign. I know for a fact this did get an English release. I've seen it in foreign marketplaces, so that goes on the pile to address. Battlefield 4, hopefully a German exclusive or European exclusive, not English, but I can't confirm at this stage. So again, that goes on the pile with that to verify before it goes into the collection for good. Conflict Dead Ops, one you don't really see very often, but this is English, complete, correct disc. Happy Days, that goes in the smaller pile of ones that can definitely go straight into the collection. Dragon Age Origins, brand new and sealed, foreign, don't know, so I'm going to have to investigate. Dragon Age Inquisition, again, don't know, going to have to investigate. Hopefully it didn't get an English release and it's just Happy Days, but if it did, then yeah, it goes into this stack to try and find English versions of, if indeed they did come out in English. Crisis 2, I know this did get an English version, so yeah, into that stack. Battlefield Hardline, German, not sure if it came out in England or not, need to verify that. When I say in England, in English, so if it's available, if it came out in Poland with English language or something like that, then that's the version I want over a German copy. But yeah, so that goes there. Battlefield 2, this is English, Bad Company, brand new and sealed, in the need pile. Assassin's Creed, the first one, English, don't have, fully complete. Not an easy one to find, by the way, so yeah, really happy. That does complete the Assassin's Creed franchise now. Sniper, Ghost Warrior, don't see very often, English, fully complete. That goes in the collection, Happy Days. Glad this pile is gradually getting bigger now. Resistance, Fall of Man, English, correct disc and manual. Yep, goes into the collection. Again, I haven't come across it to date, so it can't be an easy one to find. Resistance 2, this one's interesting. Don't know if this is a Essentials European exclusive or not. This one is foreign, so I'm going to have to do some more homework, find out if that came out in English language or not. Goes onto this pile. F1 2012, difficult one to come by, English, fully complete. Great, Happy Days. Onto the need pile. Need for Speed the Run, tough one to come by, fully complete, I believe. Yep, Happy Days. Goes in the English. Yep, goes in the pile for another one ticked off. Saints Row 2, not an easy one to come by either. English, fully complete, into the collection. Soul Calibur 4, this one is English, but no manual and incorrect disc, so that is not going in my collection. It'll be one to chase down a better copy of. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, difficult one to come by. Now this one is unfortunately foreign. It's Dutch by the look of it, and French, even though that tagline is in English, so that'll go on the pile to find an English version of. Difficult to find in the UK. I know Virtua Fiver, he's collecting PS3 Essentials, stumbled across one, probably in CEX, lucky git. But I do have one coming from my friend abroad, an English copy, so that I had already ordered anyway before this bundle came into my line of sight, so that'll get replaced very shortly. PES 2013, hard to find, English, Happy Days. Portal 2, I'm not sure if this was an Australian exclusive, but yeah, unfortunately, incorrect disc, so again, not going straight into the collection, one to address. All Stars Battle Royale, this is foreign. I know that did get an English version, though I believe it is standard disc. Again, one to replace. Payday 2, another English one, unfortunately, one to replace. Standard disc, I think that did come with an Essentials disc, so unfortunately, another to hunt down. Prince of Persia, this is foreign. Pretty sure it's a European exclusive, didn't get an English release, but until I can confirm that for sure, it goes there for now, but I expect that will move over to this pile and go onto the shelf pretty quickly. Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, tricky one to find, English relief and fully complete. So, you know, we have made some progress here, although we've got a lot more spares to move on than we're actually adding, unfortunately. Though if you include a lot of that, then probably not. Naruto games, English, complete. I'm not going to keep opening them now. Sealed, but English? Yes, English, so that one's all good. Storm 2, this was the foreign one. Might not have got an English release, but I'll need to verify that. That is complete. Mafia 2, this is German, I think. This did get an English release, although it didn't release in the UK. I think it released in Poland in English. I do have a copy with my mate in Germany being posted to me. So that's a temporary on that pile, but I have got that game coming. Now these games are hard to come by. Resident Evil 5, fully complete, English, straight into the collection. Happy days. So really happy with that one. An even harder one to come by, Resident Evil 6. Unfortunately, even though that bit's English, it is French. But again, I have another copy with a friend in Belgium in English that I've bought. So I do have that coming in the future. This will go in my collection for now. But yeah, it's one to replace, of course. So a difficult one to find, Resident Evil 6. So I'm pleased to get that one ticked off. But yeah, it's a shame it's French, but I do have an English one coming. So that will be for sale eventually. Another hard one, Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. Just don't really see this anymore. I remember seeing it in CX once and I didn't pick it up. Big fail that, because I've never seen it since. Fully complete, happy days. Another one ticked off. Last of all, Resident Evil Revelations. A very tricky one to find. Unfortunately, Dan didn't have Revelations 2, which is probably even harder. And I will say that about this pickup. So although I've sort of fast-tracked myself into a position where I'm making significant progress on this journey, I'm still in a position where all the difficult ones are left to obtain. Vanquish, Remember Me, so FIFA 17, although there'll be hopefully an update on that in due course, no spoilers. But, you know, whilst people say the fun is the collecting process, which I certainly agree with, I'm actually still got a lot of the difficult ones still to go. And I'd say that, if anything, I've ticked off a lot of medium rare titles, but the real heavies are still in front of me to obtain. So in many ways, the hard work, the heavy lifting still needs to be done. And let's just blitz through these. Dishonored Game of the Year edition, that is English, complete. Sweet, another one. I'm not going to keep opening these though. Dead or Alive 5, that's foreign, hopefully an exclusive, but we need to verify that. Sniper Elite, complete, English, one for the collection. Sports Champions 2, an exclusive, I believe, so that can go straight in the collection. I think the first one was foreign as well, and I've put that on this pile. But yeah, this one's complete, and I'm pretty sure Champions 2 is an exclusive, so I'm going to be confident and put that one there. Skyrim, the first version, Elder Scrolls 5, the non-complete version. Found this in CEX about 3 times in the Essential range, and none of them had the Essentials disc. Finally put this demon to bed. Finally got that in my collection. So yeah, another one to add to the pile of got. I believe this is an exclusive as well. I've never seen this anywhere. Hawks, Tom Clancy game. Foreign, of course, but complete. But until I verify that, it's going on that stack again. Oh, right, we've got problems. How's your Jenga game? Right, there we go. Oh, no. There we go. Okay, so there we go. Got a second pile for ones that need to be investigated. Start the party, English. Pretty sure this came with a standard disc. I don't think I've ever seen it with an Essentials disc in English, but again, if you've got any comments, let me know. I did that one in. Uncharted 2, had that failed one on Vinted. I have just been refunded for that. Unfortunately, a bit of wear on this one, but hey ho, it'll do. Can't be too fussy in this game, really. Yeah, fully complete. Happy days. Another one ticked off. Put that on behind me now as well. SSX, one you don't really see very often. I see a couple of sealed ones for like 20 quid, but who wants to pay that, really? Just seems hard to find open. Just don't really come across it. Yeah, delighted to tick another one off. Again, like these sort of titles, like LA Noire, SSX, they're not like real rare games to find. Like, obviously you can just bite the bullet and buy a sealed copy, but who wants to spend 20 quid on a sealed copy when you could just, you know, you just buy an open copy for cheaper? But they're just hard to find. So, you know, they are, as far as I'm concerned, you know, worth grabbing and collecting. Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. I think I paid 20 quid for this, and I was wondering why is it so expensive, but I think it is pretty uncommon. Let me know if you know this to be the case. English, fully complete, happy days. Goes in that pile as well. Watch Dogs, another one I need, fully complete, English, happy days. Other one on that pile. Now this one's really good. This is a European exclusive and a very difficult one to find. I haven't seen a single other copy online for sale, even across European marketplaces. And yeah, delighted to have this one in. Dan, you did really well, mate, in tracking this one down. Kudos to you for that, and thanks for doing the hard work for me. That's one into the collection, because I'm convinced didn't get a UK release. Tomb Raider Underworld, one you don't see very often either. English, fully complete, and another unusual game ticked off in terms of difficulty. This one's a great find. So this is English. Mine is sealed and foreign. When I started collecting, I was a bit of a novice. I saw that it was sealed. I was blindsided because it said the best of PlayStation 3 in English, but under that was foreign. This is English, so delighted to exchange that out, and then that sealed copy will be moved on. Fully complete Essentials disc. Happy days. So that's some progress, at least in the other direction. Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Not long bought this, but this is brand new and sealed, and it is English with no damage. Mine arrived a little punctured case, remember, so that is going to a friend, moving it on, because that's an upgrade for him. And this is going into my collection, this beauty of a copy. So happy days. Last of all, Splinter Cell Blacklist. Again, another Tom Clancy game that you hardly ever see. It is English, it's fully complete. Delighted to tick another one off. So yeah, all in all, we haven't done too bad, have we? So just to summarise then, so these two stacks here are all going straight into the collection. They are English, they are fully complete. I don't have them, happy days. This stack here are ones that I just want to make sure they didn't come out in English, or they've got niggling issues like the wrong disc, or don't have the manual. But a lot of them are easy fixes, like Thief. I know that you can get that sealed online, £10–15. And yeah, there's a lot of games in here like Max Payne 3. I'm pretty sure didn't come out in the UK or in English language, but I just want to verify that before it goes onto my shelf and I can forget about it. Just trying to be safe, really. Same with this one. And then we've got a little small pile here. A small pile here that look like good condition. I just want to double check that they're not better than mine. Karting isn't. I'm just taking the disc. I just want to double check that these aren't better condition than mine before I sell them on. Obviously, I want to keep the best copies. I will also be looking at cases that I've currently got, just to make sure none need swapping out. And yeah, so that's what that pile is. Not a big pile at all, really. And then a huge pile to sell on there, 3 stacks worth. And I'll have to gradually work through those. I'll probably try and sell in bundles, try and make it more efficient to box up and, you know, get multiple out. I'm not sending however many games there are there in individual envelopes. It's just jiffy envelopes. It's just not going to happen. And then I've got a small pile here for Scott. You'll be loving adding those into your collection, won't you? And yeah, there's one other game that he's having, my old copy of this. So he's got a nice little stack of 4 there. And yeah, happy days, really. Some good progress. Deary, deary me. Look at the state of the place. Games everywhere. Got coffee to keep me going, though. Yeah, a lot of work to do in here. But yeah, these shelves, although I think they're the optimal to have... Oh, games going everywhere. Although I think they're the optimal to have in terms of squeezing games in and presentation in the main, they are a lot more of a faff to move around. You have to undo the screws, move them, and then there's these supporting screws that screw in from underneath. Just a bit fiddly, really, when you're having to use a small screwdriver. And yeah, just we're getting there. I'm sure it will all look good soon. So yeah, I'm just going to get back to it and put some music on. So bear with me. Right then, guys, that's the top half with the shelves all in their right place. I've just put a bit of spray on. I'm going to give them a wipe down and dust. One, to clean it whilst they're got nothing on them. But obviously I've been handling the majority of the glass shelves, so there'll be prints all over them. And we wouldn't want that, would we? We want a nice, authentic finish, nice and clean, nice and tidy. So that's what we're doing here. But yeah, I'll start putting the games on in their positions, and we'll see if they fit or not, and let me know what you think. Thoughts and opinions welcome. So yeah, let's get the games on once I'm finished doing this. Right then guys, so we've got the PS1 on. I like having this art on show. It's very 90s, very nostalgic to me. Some of my favourite games there on the PlayStation 1. There are a few more behind, but they're not really ones that you want on display as such, front facing really. Maybe if we did have another row along the bottom, there's the option, but the favourite ones are there to me personally. And yeah, I mean, I guess if there's more games in my collection, which I don't have yet, then you could have just the spines, but I don't know. I like the colourful art, so I don't really want to change that. But with this huge gap below, we've got enough room to have the PlayStation 2 here now. Unfortunately, the way the gaps are spaced, we are wasting a bit of crucial room there, which I could do with down here, to be honest with you. But if we move this up, there's just not enough there. Like with that stud there, it just wouldn't be enough. That would be not doable. So that's how that has to sit. And then we go PS3. This is where the Essentials journey will start. A row of PS2, PS3 Essentials, PS3 Essentials, and they all fit comfortably. This is where it gets difficult. PS3 Essentials, now that is a very tight fit, and it's more snug than I'd like, and it's frustrating when you've got so much breathing room up here. But unless you make your own bespoke holes, which I'm not really willing to do, I'm not good enough at DIY to trust myself. I'll just ruin the cabinet. Then there's not a lot you can do, and it becomes really problematic when you've got a sealed game. That becomes really troublesome. It becomes a really tight squeeze. So I've just got to hope that I don't have any sealed games on that row. And if I do, maybe consider unsealing, because that's tight enough as it is really, but it does go in and out. But this one, yeah, that's a lot more difficult. I don't know, we'll see. We'll have to see what falls onto that shelf, but that's kind of first world problems really. So yeah, I'll just get the rest of the PS2 on and start the PS3. Right, that took a lot longer than it should have taken, but look at that. It's starting to take shape now, the upper half at least. Really happy with how it's looking. It took a long time because I obviously had to go through each game, make sure I've got the best version, and I was cross-checking on my spreadsheet just that I've got it. I've got to go through the costs and populate that sheet another time, but for all intents and purposes, I wanted to populate it at least with a yes for owned. I've been very conservative, so every game on here, it's fully complete and it has the correct disc, where to the best of my knowledge it should have. There's the odd game in here like Start the Party, where I just don't think the English version ever had an Essentials disc. I'm yet to see one, but who knows, I'm possibly able to be surprised, because I thought that about Little Big Planet karting, and all of a sudden I've got this copy in my collection now, thanks to Dan, and it does have the Essentials disc and it's fully English. So, you know, who knows what else can happen out there? I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna have a break now. I'm not gonna bother moving the rest of those shelves around, primarily because there's no need to. You know, we've still got a bit of room on that shelf yet, and I could just move the Dreamcast back there for now, and we'll work on that on a future episode, maybe next week's episode. So looking at my total then, I've now got 142 PS3 Essentials games out of a total of 219 known Essentials PAL games. So we're slightly below where we'd like to be. The reason for that, so there's about 93 spares. So, you know, I've overcooked a little bit, and he did have a lot of games that I already had, but it wasn't all a disaster, because there was games like Ghost Recon, which I had, and it got punctured in transit, and I've got a nice sealed copy now that's English, so that's being moved on. Rainbow Six Vegas 2, this is foreign, and his was sealed and English, so that's been upgraded. My Grand Theft Auto case was damaged, so I've got a new and better copy. Obviously, I might swap the case on that when I sell it, because it's a more valuable game. But there's a lot of good spares here to recoup a decent amount of money. Spider-Man, although the disc on that is pretty naff, but I think I had the case because that's kind of sun faded a little bit, so I got a case upgrade out of that one. And yeah, there was a lot of games that I managed to upgrade. There's a lot of games that he had that the conditions of the cases weren't great, but I was able, because I've got so many spares here, I was able to get the better cases. I did a lot of case transplants, manual transplants, to make sure I've got the best of the best in my collection. But yeah, if you see anything here that you need or you're interested in, either drop me a comment on here or ideally message me on Instagram. This is all for sale. It might not all be available because I have got some people that I'm speaking to who have been helping me, and I'm doing my bit to help them back. So these 4, for example, are already spoken for. And so, yeah, this is it really. So that's all for sale. So there's 93.89 less those 4. And then there's still 48 games here, I believe. And it's not all over, because so we're on 142, but there must be at least 10 games in here that they didn't get a UK release, but I'm just being conservative. So, you know, Portal 2, like, that could easily go on the shelf as one ticked off, but it doesn't have the essential disc, so I'd much rather just have it in a separate pile as something to attack than put it on the shelf and say I've got it, you know, because I'm, you know, pretty a perfectionist like that, you know. And there's some games here that probably didn't get an English release. I've just got to double check it really, and I just don't want to have it on my shelf until I know for sure. So I think there's going to be a good few games here, Pro Evo 14, that probably didn't get English versions, and we can get that remaining games for the set down further. And like I said, it's still going to give me a chunk of work to do. I still need the hard games, the real difficult ones, Vanquish, FIFA 17, I've already said before. So there's still a lot of work to do on this journey, and a lot to, if you want to follow the journey, you know, there's still a lot of work to do, and there's a lot of good stuff to yet to come on the journey. So, you know, come along for the journey and subscribe if you're not already. Feel free to ask any questions if you've got anything you want help with. You know, I'm gradually becoming more knowledgeable on the Essentials library and the PS4 hits. So if you have any questions, or if you've got any guidance for me of helping me, there's some absolute really difficult games left to go, and I'm probably going to need help finding them. It's going to be very difficult to do it all on my own. But yeah, just get involved in the comments really, light it up, and let me know what you think about this video, if you enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll just sort of wrap it up now and go into an outro really. But I hope you've enjoyed this one. I've got a lot of work to do now. I'm just going to sort of put these to one side. I'll gradually start listing them, I guess. I'm going to try and sell them to people I know initially, because that's obviously the more optimal for me. There's a lot of good stuff here, like the Driver San Francisco. It's brand new and sealed, but I'm trying to avoid having sealed games where possible, unless it's like a really good one. I'm happy to move on. There was a Lego Indiana Jones, brand new and sealed, but again, I got my copy open in CEX, and it's got the receipt in it, and there's a bit of a story attached to that. I was looking for it for ages, and then I couldn't find it, and then I found it out in the wild when I stumbled into a CEX hungover after a Christmas party one day. So, you know, I kind of rather keep that in my collection. If you're not fussy on languages, there's a Farming Simulator here, very difficult game to get hold of, Farming Simulator 15. It's just a Dutch version, I believe, but I've got an English version on the way. So again, I've sort of put that in the pile to sell, because I've already bought a copy in English, but it's a lot more expensive. You know, you're looking at 50-60 quid for that, probably in English. It's just a very difficult game to get in English, this one. You might be able to find it in Poland or somewhere like that, but you've got extortionate shipping costs and so on, and the hassle. So, you know, really, if you just want a foreign copy on the cheap, then that's for sale. Right, just before we wrap this week's vlog up then, I just want to talk through some sales that I've made. First of all, this Mafia 2. So I bought this abroad. My mate from Germany bought it, and I got it for about 8 or 10 euros, I think. And I just assumed that, you know, it didn't release in the UK, so a foreign version would be okay. This is a Dutch version. But I later noticed that you can get this game in English, just it didn't release in the UK. So like places like, I don't know, Poland, for example, I imagine, or I don't know where, but it is available in English. And I saw it after I bought this. So yeah, I've sold this, and it's sold for £15 after postage on eBay. So that's money back in and more than what I paid for it. So happy days. The English version, I managed to source a copy, a brand new and sealed one for actually cheaper, 10 euros. And that's with another friend. And it's actually on its way to me now. So hopefully that'll be on next week's vlog, the English version of that. But yes, I've also had 2 friends that I've been helping out, viewers of the channel. And these are outgoing. So these are going to Scott, Lord of the Rings. You don't see that very often. Lego Lord of the Rings. And yeah, some pretty nice titles here to either add to his collection or upgrades for him. So yeah, pleased to help him out. Let him have these at cost. Always about helping other brothers out on this channel. And again, similarly, these are going to Jack, another nice guy who's on the Essentials journey and making a good dent in his collecting journey with some of these nice games here. So yeah, that's money back in for me. I mean, like I said, I let these go at cost, but you can see there's quite a few games here and some quite unique ones. So for me, yeah, it's decent money back in. So I don't want to quote what they've paid individually, but that's £15 back in, and the entirety of this lot was about 210 for all of that. So that's like 10% of the bundle that I picked up back in already. I mean, it's games like that God of War that was more expensive, but I undercut the CEX price and only charged what I paid for it anyway. So, you know, they're getting a good deal, getting it for less than CEX price anyway in that condition. But yeah, so that's 10% of what I forked out back in already. And there's still, you know, these two bags pretty much of spares to move on, including some titles like Grand Theft Auto that 20 to 30, I'd say. And then I've got the bag that I need to sort of either replace with like Dante's Inferno with an English copy, or just verify that they didn't get English releases. But yeah, or get manuals or correct discs and so on. So that's a work in progress, that bag to get through. But yeah, we'll keep chipping away at it. And yeah, we'll just wrap up now with an outro. And sort of that'll do it for this week's vlog. So that is it, guys. That's going to do it for this week. I've been busy all day trying to sort this pretty much. So yeah, really delighted with the progress we've made. Obviously, we're not as close to the full set as I had hoped we would be, owing to the amount of duplicates there were. I probably overshot how many that I needed, but we've made some serious progress, saved a lot of time in hunting some of these difficult to find, yet relatively easy compared to the real gems games. We've saved a lot of time, made a lot of progress, upgraded games, got the cabinet in a way that I'm happy with it now. We've got the PS1, PS2, PS3, everything flows in the top half at least, and then I've just got to work on the bottom half. We'll do it on next week's video, I guess, and get the room to grow. I'll try and get to work this week and find out which of those games definitely did not come out in English, because hopefully we can at least add several more, if not complete that row with games that I've got over there that I'm just needing to make sure. There's obviously one without a manual as well, which is a pretty tricky one to get hold of. I'm probably going to have to just buy from CEX and then return it, or trade it back in and take the spread hit on the purchase of a manual. Just things like that, and that will certainly tick more games off. Obviously, I've got some games that haven't arrived yet as well, and I'm working on something big behind the scenes. Hopefully that'll be here in the not too distant future, and that's one of the heavies on this journey. But unfortunately, there are 2 more in Vanquish and the newly uncovered Remember Me, which I wasn't aware of. It wasn't on the list that I was sent, but it's a game that I recently discovered does exist, and therefore it is part of the PAL library. And now that I've run my mouth off to a few people, there's going to be a lot of us looking for it, so it's going to make it even harder. I probably should have kept my mouth shut, but you know, in trying to help people, I just kind of mentioned it really. So yeah, but hopefully a batch of new old stock can be found and we can all be sorted. That'd be a nice outcome, wouldn't it? But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video then. If you did, please whack a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. If you're new to the channel or a returning viewer and you're not yet subscribed, please consider doing so. Being subscribed to the channel helps me as a content creator, helps me feel appreciated. I'm trying to get more of you along for this journey to see if I can complete the PS3 Essentials library, the PlayStation 4 hits in the PAL libraries, and can I complete and review all 239 UK PAL N64 games. If you haven't seen it yet, on Thursday we dropped Chameleon Twist 2, and that was our 15th game completed. We do a mixture of stuff on this channel. It's not all Nintendo 64, it's not all PlayStation, it's not all retro, modern gaming as well. Yeah, come along for the journey. Thanks for watching everyone, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.